Okay, so the Builders Accelerator program. What is it? What does it do? Who is it for? Basically, the Builders Accelerator program was designed and developed for anyone who is looking to start up their own construction business. If you're in your own construction business at the moment, I'm sure you understand when I say it's pretty lonely when you're running a company, especially in the beginning. Oftentimes you don't have anyone to talk to, you don't have anyone to ask the questions of, you don't have the support, you don't have the network, and fundamentally you're looking for someone who can actually help you, guide you, talk to you about what you're going through. The Builders Accelerator program was designed specifically for that. It was designed to actually give assistance to those people who are in their construction businesses and looking for that little bit of support, that little bit of guidance. We then supercharged it. We put quite a lot of information and quite a lot of fantastic speakers in the program. Some amazing talent out of the construction industry, from residential, construction and fit out. And then we went and actually spoke to some other people who'd been successful in doing developments, and we engaged with a number of those very, very kind people from industry to ask them what they believe needed to be in a world-class program. In Australia, obviously, the support that you can receive in your business is limited, and at Epiphany Training and Consulting, what we wanted to do was design and develop a program that was specifically for the Australian market, and that's what we've done. The first module of the program is strategy development. It's a logical place to start, making sure that your business model, your business strategy will actually make money. I can't tell you how many times we've gone into businesses and the model in effect doesn't work. They're too heavy on tenders, and the tenders have got no margin in them, or they don't have a secure pipeline. They have a bunch of one-off jobs which have no ability to scale and have no ability, in effect, to go anywhere. They haven't diversified, or they've diversified too far. So basically getting the strategy right really sets the mindset of the business owner up for success. We go through that and we put in place the elements of a successful business operating model, and we make sure that that is executed then through multiple 90-day action plans. We work with you on that in the program to make sure that you're not just talking about it, that you're actually executing it back in your business, and the coaching is really, really effective for doing that. Some of the feedback that we've received already from the program is it's amazing, just the application from some of the estimating managers that have come into the program in terms of the type of tenders they're going after, the really good go, no-go processes that they've already put into place that have meant that the jobs that they're going for now have got better margin in them. They're asking the right questions, they're putting in the processes, and so that's been exceptional. Leadership. Look, I talk a lot about mindset. It's not something I'm going to waste a lot of time on in this video. Needless to say, though, the best business owners that I work with, probably 20 to 30% of the time that I spend with them, I'm talking about their mindset. Why? Because fundamentally you're under a lot of pressure. And when you're under that much pressure, a lot of people can't cope. It affects their ability to sleep, to eat, when they go through stressful periods. If you're not really, really strong in your mindset, and if you don't have some really good coping mechanisms and the ability to compartmentalise the different pressures within your business, it really can be a business owner's undoing. So we do spend some time in the program on that, but we also talk about your leadership capability and the way you manage and what impact that may have on the different types of people that you hire, and then also some adjustments and changes that you may need to make in order to be able to get more out of your people. Fundamentally, if people don't like you, if people don't respect your values, they won't work for you, and you certainly won't leverage the best out of your team unless you fix that and unless you address that. And self-awareness is something that oftentimes we do need people who will give us that honest feedback. It's very, very rare in an organisation that your team are going to tell you honestly that your style sucks. That's certainly something that we review with you, look at and make sure that you're making adjustments. We also look at the way you sell. We look at the way you go about functionally in your business and make adjustments quite quickly to make sure that you are on track. We also look at structures for growth. So depending on the business size that you're in at the moment in your construction business, if you're below $1 million, we have a very different plan for you than those who might be turning over more than $50 million as an example. If you're turning over $50 million, your problems are markedly different. The stresses in your life are very, very different. The amount of people that you're managing and the challenges you've got with those are very, very different. But it doesn't matter what stage of business you're at. Fundamentally, we are there to guide you through what those challenges are, and more importantly, what you need to do to address those challenges within your business in an effective and efficient manner. We also look at sales. We deep dive into sales in a big way. Sales is critical for driving your business forward. The right types of sales, okay? It's not okay to keep C-grade clients. It's something that will actually drain your business. Sometimes in the beginning in particular, if you're under $1 million, you will take on those clients because at the end of the day you need to get a foot in the door, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. What I would say though is you need to very, very quickly understand the true cost of a bad client on you, and also understand the true cost of that client, potentially on the team and your business overarchingly. So we look at that, we look at the different types of sectors, we bring a lot of data into the program so you understand where the growth is actually happening in Australia, specifically in Brisbane, Sydney and Melbourne. We look specifically at the trends and that data to understand where the really good quality work is coming from and how you can actually become eligible to get that work. We also look at your marketing and also your operational processes. It's something that I think the guys from Zac Homes at the moment are certainly going through a deep dive into all of their processes, making sure that they're leveraging absolutely every single person in the business to ensure that they're efficient, that they're effective. And fundamentally, as they've grown and as they've shaped and changed as a business, one of the critical things is actually applying all of these elements back into the business through their senior leadership team. And their senior leadership team has only been together for a couple of years, but you wouldn't know it to look at it from outside. When you look at the people that are actually in the business now, they've all got absolute clarity around where that business is going, and that has come about from some really hard work by Pete Zakazan and Kelly Zakazan in instilling a really, really good culture in the organisation and making sure that they don't compromise on the things that they really, really value. One of the exercises that they did when they went through a strategic planning session was to get really clear on what their values were, and that became critical for every single process that they put into their business. Does it stack up against the values? And if you speak to anyone at Zac Homes today, they will tell you what the values are and what it actually means, how it's applied. And when we look at our processes, when we look at our systems, if our systems and processes are not effective, basically what you end up with is shit in and shit out. And the results in the company reflect that. And so when we go into organisations, one of the first things that we look at is, what are your processes? What are your workflows? How is this thing supposed to happen? What output, what outcome are you actually trying to get as a result of it? So it doesn't matter if you're looking at the estimating side of the business, or whether or not you're looking at the drafting, or you're looking at the tendering, or any part of the business at all the way through to project delivery. What we want to know is, how are you doing it currently? What is the industry standard or benchmark for your particular sector in the construction industry? And we make sure that you have a better system, a better process to get the outcome and the standard that you want, and more importantly for your team, that they want. Okay, everyone wants to work in a business where the systems and processes fundamentally are being done the most logical, sensible way with the best possible outcome. So it's really, really important, and we spend quite a lot of time on that. Marketing's an interesting one in construction. Some do it really, really well, and others, don't do it at all. We try and get a balanced approach for your business depending on the size. Obviously, you don't want something that's bigger than Ben-Hur because you won't be able to manage it and you won't be able to afford it. But you need to have something, and fundamentally, externally, your message to the market can come from your general manager, or it can come from yourself, depending on the size of your business. It also comes from all of your people, what they say about you, and it also comes from your suppliers and subcontractors and what they say about you as well as your obvious social media, tender documents, you know, capability statement, all that kind of stuff. And we look at all of that and rip that to pieces and make sure that your documentation reflects the standard that your business needs to be at for where it's playing. And look, finally, we have a deep dive into your finances. No program would be effective without a deep dive into your finances, and we look at your margins, we look at your returns, we look at your overheads, we look at your procurement strategies, what you've got in place, and also, as I mentioned before, all of the industry experts have been there, they've done it, they've seen it, they know all the tricks and tips, and that's what they're bringing to the table. The templates, the guidelines, the examples, all of those are there for you in the program. And last but not least, we also, because it's construction and because we obviously know that construction is a risky business, we also look at safety. And probably more importantly, out of all of that, we look at risk management. At the end of the day, for most of you who are in construction, your fundamental role is risk management. You are mitigating risk. So we do actually have a look at, again, what it is you need for the size of business you're at. Obviously, if you're a very, very small business, we make sure that the tools and templates ensure that you are compliant with the legislation. If you're a larger business and you're looking to get into government work, we'll be looking at accreditations and what you need to do to get accreditation ready. And for the different types of tenders that are out in the marketplace, they've all got their different requirements. We're lucky here, we understand what those tender requirements are, and we work with you to make sure that if that is something that you want to invest in, because that's a path that you want to get into, we make sure that you've got the best advice and the best support to be able to make sure you get that. Obviously quite a lot that I've covered off in this video. I hope you get something out of it. I hope it inspires you to at least make the phone call and ask a few questions about the program. It's something, as I said, that's been put together with working with a lot of industry experts. It's something that I'm particularly passionate about. The construction industry has been very kind to me. For over 20 years I've worked in and around construction, and the people that are in the industry are amazing and fantastic, and I love working with them. So if the Builders Accelerator program is something that sparks your interest, we're running programs in Sydney and in Brisbane, hoping to bring it to Melbourne, depending on interest. But yeah, hope to see you there soon. Okay, bye.